Today, Precarious plays
Phantom Brave. I wonder if this is the finale of the chapter.
Mr. Canary!
That's a very weird bomb dog. Do my eyes deceive me?
No, that's what that is. Or a cat. It's probably a cat.
Help me!
Please! Kill these horrible beasts!
That's cool, man. Okay. Are they really that horrible? Was that just for show? No,
there it is. Oh, it's a dog. It's a fine hell corgi. Why? And its name is Zebra.
Explosion damages when removed. Oh, so it's like a prinny. I think prinnies might have parting gift. Is that right? I think that one thing that people like to do is they like to have a prinny that has Big Bang and parting gift, so they explode when they come in and they explode when they leave. It tracks. It's on brand. I approve. I'm gonna steal that bread.
What is it about Xenonauts that has given you a perspective on this game? Like your most recent playthrough of Xenonauts with this new method of keeping the pacing up.
Well, it's just made me think about when are strategy games like these at their best?
Let's do it!
When is Phantom Brave the best version of itself? Or really, for NES titles, I think a better question might be which game, because it can be several of them, depending on what you want. Which one is the most engaging? Which one is the most richly detailed and textured, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, by having these close shaves,
Yeah.
I think that it might be better as a game than if all of my characters were, they're about 30-ish, 30, 32 to 36. I'm guessing the boss is probably 38 or 40. No, okay, just 36 still.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more. It's more levels than most of my characters.
Yeah.
I think it might it might demand slightly more strategic thinking and manipulation of the game systems. Like, I have to look at characters' defense and resistance. I have to look at their elemental weaknesses, and I have to target what they're weak against.
Right. So you have to really evaluate the situation whenever you're not taking the time to, say, like, level between chapters, for example.
Right.
So maybe the game is actually better when you're not leveling between chapters.
Yeah, but, I mean, that might just be for me. So here's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
This dog is pretty weak to ice.
Mm-hmm.
And its resistance is lower than its defense.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, at least. If I break that rock, that might not be the case.
Mm-hmm.
This tree provides a bonus to ice affinity. So what I'm going to do, because Bookstore has ice magic, I'm going to
Let's do it!
drop him in there. Now, I guess his base affinity for ice must have been pretty low. Anyway, with his small bonus of 20, and this average
Zebra.
bonus of, or average penalty of 30, I'm going to try to blow it up with ice magic.
Okay. But if your characters were all jacked, then you wouldn't really have to make those considerations. You would just go over and be like, hey, Death Corgi, hearing your name's Zebra. This is a dumb name. And then kick them into the lava.
Yeah. Just pick them up and drop them off the edge. So I guess what I'm really saying, to get to the heart of the matter, is I think this game would be better with assault rifles and eventually laser guns. Wait a second, I just remembered. Hold on. That's just Mackay Kingdom.
Is it?
Yeah, they did that. I think Mackay Kingdom has a similar... I think it had gridless combat in the same way. And it had a wider variety of classes. Like, I think it still had, like, swordsmen and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it also had, like, soldiers who had high proficiency with, like, the rifles and cannons and stuff they introduced. And I think that, like, that game had deployable vehicles that were basically just they were essentially just like monsters that were big enough to ride, and I don't think they did anything on their own.
I don't know. I think that the best part about this game is its lack of laser pistols and assault rifles. I love the starfish.
Whoops. That was not a lot.
I love all of the silly stuff about this game. Although I am not playing it, so my perspective is different.
No, I was kidding before. I love the silliness of it. I completely forgot that there was an NIS title where it's Phantom Brave with a story that isn't as endearing to me and an aesthetic that isn't as endearing to me. Mm-hmm. That also just happens to have... You have the ability to put like a chibi witch in a tank, in a main battle tank, and roll around and shoot people for a bet.
Aww. So, if the gameplay is better when you're not super leveled, when you're not grinding, then the point of grinding is really just to keep the pace of the game up so that you can finish the game, right?
Yeah, or it becomes like the point of the end game.
Yeah.
Whenever the levels got really out of whack and the developers were just trying to like give you something to do. Mm-hmm. Like, you want more of this game, here's a wall, scale it.
Yeah.
The wall is a hell corgi.
Straight up.
the wall is a hell corgi that's at level 4,000. So you were saying?
I was just saying it's interesting that Xenonauts similarly has sort of a shortener, like an abbreviation system. Like, you could play through every single
tactical map,
and like you could make the maps more difficult by not leveling your characters like we have been. I mean, not that. It's not like you're not leveling your characters. It's just that you're not making any special efforts to go to one room with 3 hell corgis that have their defense lowered, and then you just slap all 3 of them in a row and they fall down.
And it's like on a map.
Consume their essence, and then you just keep going.
And it's like on a map where all of the enemies have plus 50% experience bonus, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's because what I'm gonna do after this one, just to give you an idea of what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably gonna use dungeon monk dungeons, because I think it makes for a more complete leveling experience than just the levels you get from the Scrabbit trick that you can do early on.
Yeah.
Like, it gives you mana, and it gives you skill experience, like you level up your moves too. Mm-hmm. And here's more of that finicky. I swear I can do it. I swear I can get all 3 of them. I can get them all in there. I can do it. I know I can do it. I can do it. I gotta be able to do it. Ah, I got him. I got him for a second there. Did you see?
Yeah,
Did
I
you see,
saw it.
Mom? Are you proud of me?
I saw you put the pizza slice on all 3 of those boys. Very good. Why don't you just spin it the other way?
What do you mean?
Like that. Stand behind that guy on the plank.
Because it only occurred to me just now. There, it's done. Ha ha! Oh, that wasn't a lot.
But you did get all 3 of them.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not what I wanted. I wanted them all to fall down.
Well, it just goes to show you shouldn't play with your food.